The first time I timed my run while preparing for the 2020 Lagos City Marathon, it was with the Nike Run app. I was doing 7 minutes per kilometer. I then discovered that there were guys running the marathon 42 kilometers in 2 hours. If you do the math, that's less than 3 minutes per kilometer. Then towards the end of 2019, Eliud Kipchoge comes and stuns the world by setting the world record for running the marathon in less than 2 hours. In my mind, I'm going, what in the... Here am I struggling, doing 7 minutes per kilometer, and there are guys out there doing it in less than 3. You know, hearing stuff like that can be quite discouraging and can make somebody to want to just give up. How you want to lose weight and that particular person you admire tells you they do 100 push-ups every day and you try it and you can't even do just one. How there's that person that is financially successful and they tell you of the many investments and businesses they have out there, while you on the other hand doesn't even have the discipline to save, not to talk of having investments. You look at that author and expert, the amount of content they have there, how many followers and subscribers they have, how much products and services they are offering, and in your mind you are just like, where do I even start? When will I ever have just 1/10 of their customer base? We think of those goals we want to achieve and we think of the time it's going to take for us to get from here to there, and we just tell ourselves, why even bother? But whatever your goal is, whatever your desire is, one thing I want to say to you today is that it doesn't take time, it takes consistency. This is one reason I believe that many people are looking for shortcuts to achieve those goals that they want to achieve. Why? Because they are fixated on results. They look at those people they admire and they look at the results they have and they want those results those people they admire have, and they want to have it now, like this, instead of focusing on the effort, what they did to get those results that they have. And one thing that I've discovered, one key major element that I've discovered that is very important to get those results that we want to get is the element of consistency. Consistency is the key. Consistency is magic. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's about that daily routine. It's about that daily ritual. Instead of doing that thing 3 hours once in a month or once in 2 months, I believe it's helpful to instead do it 5 minutes, 5 days a week. Doing it 5 minutes may seem like nothing, but one thing I can guarantee, one thing I can assure you is that over time, the cumulative effect will totally daze you and make you a pleasant surprise to yourself. Instead of looking for that one viral hit, you know, that one earth-shattering, life-altering, time-bending viral hit, just focus on the small but consistent hits. I like the way Sarah Beth, a yoga expert that I like to watch, says. She says that your daily practice is your strongest practice. For me, that's so powerful, that your daily practice is your strongest practice. It's the sum of the small efforts that we put in and day out that brings those results that we are looking forward to getting. It's like how I was learning how to drive. I would go out for my test drive, get back home, and then park the car outside and not be able to park the car in the garage. Why? Because navigating the ramp leading into the garage was quite tricky because of how narrow it was. So every time I go out for my test drive and get back home, I'll park the car outside, go into the house, get my mom or some other experienced driver in the house to, to come and then park the car properly in the garage. I remember at first I felt so stupid, I felt so dumb. I would say to myself, Kayode, you are never ever going to be able to learn how to drive like your parents and other adults. Here you are, you can't do the most basic and simple thing to park a car. You might as well just give up. And it was so discouraging for me until my driving instructor at the time just encouraged me and said, Kayode, you know what? Don't focus on perfecting your driving skill for now. Just focus on doing it daily. I'm so glad I listened to him. I kept at it until this day. After going out for my test drive, I get back home and something just says to me, this is your moment. You can do it. And just like that, in one fuel swoop, I navigate the ramp and the narrow walls, and here I was in the garage with the car and without a single scratch on it. I was so elated. It was like I had won the World Cup. And I'm sure you can probably relate to this experience, to how learning how to drive was such a great and awesome experience, and what that experience did to boosting your confidence. But now driving is second nature to us, that we don't think about it and we forget to derive the benefits inherent in that particular experience. That if we could learn how to drive, if we could figure that out, there's probably nothing we can't learn and figure out if we really put our mind to it. And that if it took showing up, if it took consistency, if it took keeping at it and doing it daily to learn and to master the driving skill, that's probably what it's going to take to learn and master anything that we want to do, we want to achieve right now. That consistent daily action will make you a pleasant surprise to yourself. That you who used to run 7 minutes per kilometer, you find yourself running 6 minutes 30 seconds per kilometer, then you move to 6:20, then you are doing 6:05, then you are doing 6, then you are doing 5:45, then 5:20, then 5:05, then 5, and now even sometimes you are doing it in less than 5 minutes. That's how powerful consistency is. I believe strongly that if we are going to live a life of no excuses, if we are going to crush our goals, exceed our limits, break barriers, and become those very high performers that God has created us to be, it's helpful to remember, like The Rock says, that success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. That consistent hard work is what brings success. Greatness will always come.